Okay, for a little explanation on your enrichment assignment, a little bit of work here, just something interesting to think about. Is America heading in the same direction as Rome in terms of the fall of the Roman Empire? Well, when you look at it from the perspective of some people, they say yes. This is an article that came out in 2012, the end of 2012, and it talks about some parallels, in other words, some similarities. Now, some of the writing here is a little bit higher level. It's a little bit, the vocab's a little bit high there, but let's just talk really quickly about some of the little ideas here, and then you can read more specifically to see what they are. So it's eight reasons that we might think that that we're similar to Rome and could potentially be falling apart. First off, staggering increase in the cost of elections with dubious campaign funding sources. In other words, it costs a lot to get elected to be president, and sometimes where the money's coming from, well, who knows if it's really from good places, let's say. That's the first one. You can read a little bit more about that. It talks about the actual cost there. Second, politics is the road to personal wealth. In other words, a lot of people view being a politician as a way you can make a whole lot of money, and that's not necessarily a good thing. And that's something that occurred during Rome, and this article is arguing is occurring today too. Keep this in mind. This is an opinion piece too, so don't jump to believing every single thing that they say is being fact. It's an opinion. That's good to look at too sometimes. Third, continuous war. In other words, there are lots of wars being fought. Rome was always fighting wars except for the Pax Romana. If you look at America, well, there are quite a few wars there too. Fourth, foreign powers lavish money and attention on the Republic's leaders. This talks about how there's money coming into people who are in positions of power from elsewhere, and maybe that's a bad thing. Five, profits made overseas. In other words, policies are going to be there to help make it so we can bring in all kinds of stuff from overseas because we can make more money that way. It's like when we're buying all of our clothing and such from somewhere in southeastern Asia or somewhere in Central America, and the clothing really isn't being made in America. It's that type of an idea. Collapse of the middle class. Gerrymandering is a little bit complicated. That deals with the way that elections take place. Compromise. This one's saying that we're arguing a little bit too much and not really compromising and doing what's best for the people, but people are just kind of sticking on their own side. And then coming back to number 6, collapse of the middle class. This is arguing that there's some economic problems that we have in our country. Not saying that you need to understand every single one super well, but at least focus on a couple here and try to maybe dig a little bit deeper to get some more ideas. It's an interesting thing to think about. So what you need to do is read through this and then post your opinion in the discussion board and then respond to a few of your peers as well. This should be an interesting conversation. Are we heading that road, or is it just a little bit of people being dramatic? Because sometimes that happens too. All right, good luck.